All right, well, I'm joined here from McLouth softball coach Ballard Patterson of McLouth High School for our 13 Sports Coach Show. Thanks so much, Coach, for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Thanks for all that you guys do for high school sports across the state. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. And well, Coach, let me ask the first thing. You're a back-to-back state champ. Just when you hear those words and you hear that you've won back-to-back titles, what does that just say about the girls that you have and to be able to call yourselves back-to-back state champs?
Well, the thing is, it's really only about the girls. Um, we preach all the time that these programs are for the kids, not about coaches. And I don't need plaques. I don't need wins. These kids need the experience of learning how to work together, having a great time together, and growing as a group together so that they can take those things and use them in their life down the road.
And when you get down to Pratt, right, as Danny mentioned a little bit of, you guys had last year when she mentioned to me that you guys had the road to Pratt, and now it was return to Pratt, and you guys obviously dominated the competition. What was it about when you got to Pratt? What was it that, from your perspective, that just really clicked for this team?
Well, this team they were crazy fun. They were all about each other all season long. And this group of kids would cut up and just relax and have a lot of fun. And, I really want to make sure that that's our goal of our program is just to keep the kids light and having fun. We don't ever want softball to be a bad thing for them. We don't coach from a perspective of getting in their face or yelling at them or making them have a hard time. It's more about, for us, I always say you need to package criticism with a couple of compliments. So, and our kids it respond to that, and they never feared failure. They played with open hearts and open minds because they weren't afraid of getting taken down or tore down when they made a mistake. And our group of girls played that away this year. They played loose and together. And in the end, that's what it's supposed to be. We're not curing cancer or solving world hunger. We're just playing high school softball, and we don't need to make it a big a big pressure thing for these kids. You relieve the pressure and take the pressure away, and they'll respond and they'll play their hearts out for you.
And you bring up a good point, Coach. And when you talk about, pressure and the experience that you guys had last year and bringing back a really good senior class and really team, if you will, do you think that experience helped the girls knowing what they were able to accomplish last year, bring it to this year's tournament? Do you think that experience helped them at all?
Yeah, and I think so. And, we've talked about this a lot with the girls. There is no pressure. There is no pressure. Softball should never be about pressure. And yes, there is some given and added pressure when you're playing at the level we're playing, and they want to do well. But I think that they understand that, the teenage mom living under a bridge somewhere, that's pressure. The kid, 19-year-old kid sitting in a foxhole over defending our country or fighting for our country, that's pressure. This isn't pressure. This is just softball. The absolute worst day we have on the softball field is a lot better than most people's best day.
And just you exude that energy and exude that happiness. And we know Anna and Danny really exude that, and so many other of the girls that I talked to when we previewed you guys going to Pratt. Just how infectious was that? And how does that maybe help you as a coach when, you have such infectious personalities that just love the game of softball and do it for their teammates and also do it for you as well?
Well, and we say all the time that our four seniors, they were sell out or get out type kids. They were going to give you 100% all of the time. Summer and Marissa are two of the toughest kids that I've ever been around. Their strength, and they don't have to say a lot, but they lead by example. Anna, on the other hand, Anna's a loud, boisterous, I'm out in front, and hey, get in and follow me, or and this is the way we're going to do things. And with Danny and Cinda and Elizabeth, they're They're fantastic players, and they lead by example and with being loud and rowdy and having a good time. The biggest thing that we have that I see in a lot of other programs is when we step in that dugout, we know we're going to win. We know we're going to win, whether the scoreboard says so or not. We're going to have a great time, and that's a win.
Coach, I want to ask something too. As I asked, the program, like you know what, you won 2 state championships, and before, you mentioned to me as well before when we've talked that before there was never a team, championship, if you will. There's been individual awards, and now the past 2 seasons, McLouth can say they have a team championship in softball. So, what does that just say about what you're building there in terms of your program and what that McLouth community has really embraced with your guys' softball program?
Well, I think for a while, and I grew up in this community from the time I was 12 years old. I think that a lot of times McLouth had been the excuse to not do well in sports. We're from McLouth, so we're not going to be great in this sport or that sport or whatever. And I think to break that chain, I think is infectious, and it spreads throughout the community and throughout the school. And certainly the atmosphere around here, being a championship program, has changed. It has changed. When we come home from state the other night at midnight, we got home after midnight, and there was probably 200 or 300 people here in the parking lot at the high school to greet us. We had a fireworks show underneath the water tower, and we're talking 12:30 in the morning on Saturday morning. We got led into town by the fire department with sirens blaring. We had police escort. They were checking with us all the way home from Pratt. How long are you guys going to be? We'll have them wait for you outside of town. The atmosphere around the entire community is one that these girls have created a little bit more positive vibe, and people are happy. And, everybody you walk up to says, "Hey, great job. Congratulations. We're very proud of you." And that is small town Americana, in my opinion, and getting behind our programs. That has to be something that happens, and it has to happen across the board. And I think when kids in the other sports can feel that, then they'll want to strive to work harder in the off season and get better and experience the same type of things.
Well, Coach, I'll ask you one more. And when you look back at last season, or last season and then this season, and as a coach, how would you describe just the overall environment, the overall just, gratitude, any words you can really think of? How would you describe just these past 2 seasons for your softball program, the experience you gained, anything that you could think of? How would you describe these last 2 seasons?
Well, first of all, I've been incredibly blessed to have another chance at it. I quit coaching in 2019. I needed to step aside. I was fighting neuroendocrine cancer. And the opportunity came up again in the summer of 2022 to pick it up and run with it for the 2023 season. And I think God put me in a spot with a great group of kids to give me another run at it, and to bless me with the best atmosphere I could possibly have. And so I'm very thankful for that. I have so much gratitude for what God has blessed me with in this program, and then this incredibly gifted group of kids. And we're not a team full of kids who travel around the country playing comp ball or competitive softball. We have a couple that play at high levels, but for the most part, these are kids that are not going to go on and play college softball. And we've done a good job just by beating people with heart and happiness.
I love it, Coach. I think you hit it you hit the nail on the head right there. And is there anything else, Coach, I'm missing from your state tournament run, the joy that you had, the dominance? I know there's so many different things. I mean, there's so many storylines we can go through. Is there anything else that I'm missing that you'd like to add about the group that you had, or anything like that I'm missing that you want to add?
I just want to thank everybody involved, including, all of the media. I have two fantastic assistant coach, and Sam Freeman and John Dietrich. John Dietrich's a legendary coach around the state. with nearly 500 wins before he came here to be an assistant. And we just have an amazing staff, and it's very easy for me to get my job done when I can trust everybody around me. And then you add in some of the best players in the state, and certainly the best pitcher in the state in 2A, and we are, Crescenda Bandel's as good as anybody on any team anywhere. And to have just those quality kids, and the recipe worked out for the last 2 years, and I really think we're going to be tough to beat next year as well.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate your time, and thanks so much for joining our coaches show, and congratulations again on winning another state championship.
Well, thank you very much. And again, thank you for all you do for high school sports.
You're very welcome. It's our pleasure we do so. Thanks, Coach. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Anna. Well, hey, I know we talked, just last week, and obviously very exciting for you guys to go back to back, and just talk to me about those emotions, and just talk to me about what that feeling was like to win another state championship.
The feeling was crazy just because it was like going out on a bang for my last game ever. Like doing it 2 times in a row is unheard of, really. And especially in our school history, it was just like an honor to be a part of the team. And the emotions are so high. I don't think it's really settled in for me yet, just because it's so like fresh still, and it's not really hidden yet.
So I think you guys run ruled the first 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you guys gave up a run the whole tournament. So, I mean, what was working for you guys to score, I think, like 30 runs and give up none at all in that tournament?
Our mindset that whole tournament was it's lunchtime. So we pretended we were the Lions. Well, we didn't pretend we were the Lions. And we went out there and we were hungry, and we didn't let anyone score on us. We didn't have any single moment where we decided to get down on ourselves. We just went out there and attacked like the Lion does.
I like that. I like that. Okay. To be able to say, you're a back-to-back champ, and before even last year, you guys never had a state championship in terms of a team, and now you have 2 back-to-back. So what does that just say about the program that you have there with Coach Ballard, and what you guys have been able to build?
He really helped our team excel, and we definitely would not be here without Coach B. The girls on our team, they put their heads down and they get the work done. They are all so strong, and they always have a smile on our faces, and it just helps us to excel. And we all worked really well, and we always find a way to have fun. If you're not smiling and having fun, you're not playing fun softball, you're just playing softball. So it's easier to have fun when you're playing softball because it makes it more enjoyable.
I got to ask, of course, I know you probably didn't dogpile, but you probably were jumping and screaming. Maybe you did dogpile. I think I watched your celebration video. Just the moment that you guys did, and the hugs and all that, what was that like, to kind of maybe see even Coach's reaction and all the hugs, once you guys officially won?
It was a moment, definitely. When I first ran out to Danny, my emotions were almost like sad, because I was never going to catch a ball from her again, or ever going to play with that team again. It was just like all the emotions hit me at once. Like, yeah, we won a state championship, but I'd never play again. It was really cool, and it was like really overwhelming at the time, and just the hugs, like, it makes everything just feel so much better.
Well, I know you guys are smiling and laughing. I can just tell by, how excited you are. And, when you look back at what you guys accomplished, especially your last 2 years, and, when you look back at everything, is there some way you would describe that experience? Is there, maybe not even just a word, but is there some way you describe that?
I'd almost describe it as unforgettable, like a fever dream. Like you think about constantly winning and just having fun and playing with your friends and like your family members. It's just like, it's overwhelming, and it's really hard to think of. So it's just like a fever dream. Like most people don't achieve this in their lifetime, and so it just feels kind of like a dream, and like it's not real, but it's definitely real.
Absolutely. Well, Anna, I will let you go. Thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on another state title.
Thank you.
So Danny, we talked when you guys won the first one, right? You said it was, you guys had those little bracelets, I remember, that said Road to Pratt. Do you still have those?
Oh yes, I have like a little shadow box, and I keep it by one of the game balls, and then my 2 medals from last year. And just to be able to, like, it's right by my bed, so every time I wake up in the morning, I'll look at it and start our day off. Hey, Road to Pratt, and now we changed it this year to Return to Pratt.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Return to Pratt. You guys did. So Danny, let me ask too. You win back to back, right? It's hard to win one. it's hard to go back to back. And now you have the chance to go three-peat because you're obviously still a junior. So talk to me about the emotions. What was it like to embrace your teammates again for the second time? What you guys did in that tournament? What were those emotions like?
It was very bittersweet. Just the relief that all the hard work that we put in this year working together, that it finally paid off and that we can prove to everyone and to ourselves that we can go back and do it again.
So I guess as mentioned to Anna, well, however many runs, I think it was 30 some runs, and he gave up 0. So just the dominance that you guys had. What went into that? What did you guys talk about going in before the tournament? What were those conversations like? And then obviously in the game is different. So what was that adjustment like, the balance like to really just dominate the competition?
For me, every time I step on that rubber, they're not going to hit this ball. I'm going to throw it right by them. And I also don't have as much pressure knowing that my defense behind me, if I do miss a pitch, that they got my back. And then I always understand that, my offense is really great. That we get runners on and that we score them, and I can just trust that everyone works together, has my back.
And to, call yourself a back-to-back state champ. Not many people can say that, let alone be a state champion. So, and, before you guys won it last year, there was no state championships in school history in terms of a team aspect. So now to have back-to-back and you leaving your legacy there with one more year, what does that just say of what you guys are building there with Coach Ballard and just the continued success that you guys have had?
Yeah, I remember last year after we won, and then I came back in the beginning of the school year. Just the kind of tone of the school was different. I feel like we proved to everyone else, we proved to everyone else that we can win, even though McLouth hasn't been known for state championship stuff. Just proving to everyone else that as long as you have hard work, you can go get the job done, and then proving to them that we can do it again. So hopefully, when we come back again in the school year, we'll have that same mentality.
So let me ask, I imagine, Peyton Hardenberger, I'm sure you probably know her name from Wabego, who mentioned that she's also thinking about the three-peat already. Are you kind of thinking about that yourself going into your senior year?
Well, absolutely. My senior year, I want to end it off on a good note. And again, proving to myself that you can do it again. Lots of hard work already starting for me and a bunch of the girls. And we definitely have that mindset to go do it again.
So I think, do you bring back a majority of that core again this year? I know you only lost 2 seniors last year, so you probably bring back a decent amount from this past season's team.
Yeah, we look 4 seniors this year, which they're a great group of girls, and it's going to be hard to fill those shoes. But we also have a good incoming freshman class that I know that they'll come in and get some hard work, and they'll have that same mindset.
Well, Danny, let me ask you one last thing. With Coach, what did he talk to you guys about after the game? What was his reaction like? Him being a 2-time state champ like yourself. So did Coach say anything? Did you guys give him a Gatorade bath? Was that anything, along those lines?
Well, after I gave a hug to Anna, the first person I wanted to hug was him, and the fact that we could do it for him and everything that he's battled through. He wanted us just to make sure that we stayed in the moment and that we enjoyed where we were at. And I could tell that he was really proud of us. And it was also pretty late, so we wanted to get home and get some rest. But yeah, he was really proud of us.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it again.
Thank you.